Muted. I was muted. All right. This is a live stream. Stop it. Hi everyone. Welcome to the live stream. This is going to be a recording. I'm going to leave the video eventually of my channel. So for anyone that joins us late or comes across this video at a later time, they can always just watch it like a regular video, right? If you're in chat, don't hesitate to say hi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm just basically going to be talking about my experiences as, a student developer, things I did back in the days, and what I think my work best for anyone that is also in that scenario. So definitely, if you are in chat, just drop a comment, and then we can get started. I actually started learning how to code while I was in school. I didn't know what coding was at the time. I I wanted to build a game called Yu-Gi-Oh. I think I can show what said game is. I wanted to build like an hardware game basically that used holograms, and then you can basically start summoning monsters using a discard on your stuff. So I went to my software director at the time and I was like, you know what? How can I build this game? And I was like, you can't do it out of Nigeria. Like, what are you thinking about? Better go to data structure class. So my dreams for being a game developer kind of like died at that point in time because I didn't even know where to get started from. Um, it took me like a while later on before I eventually started to, learn more about what people do with code and how they build stuff and what's, the entire process is like. I actually attended an exhibition, basically, where it was like a programmer exhibition where people competed and showed like expert systems, applications they were building, and I was really curious because these were some of my colleagues that were building these amazing solutions, and I had no idea um, how to do it. So basically, I started learning how to code while in my second semester, my first year at University of Ilorin. Oh, interesting. Hello, Shegun. Welcome to the stream. Emanuela, welcome to the stream. Angela Olua, welcome to the stream as well. Thank you guys for stopping by. Um, like I was saying, I basically just learned how to code because I saw some of my colleagues, my classmates were building stuff, and I had no idea that was even possible. Um, I was really interested, so I reached out to a few of them, like, how did you do this? And they basically showed me like some text editor that translated, the syntax I was writing to actual applications. So I tried learning Java, but that was my voice is echoing. Okay, why is that though? That's interesting. I'm actually muted also. My voice is not supposed to echo. There shouldn't be an echo. Yeah. As I was saying, so I learned how to code from there. I tried Java, tried Python, and I wasn't any good at it. So I started with HTML. And as a student developer, one of the things that was really difficult was, charting a path, knowing what next to do, how to make sense of what you were learning at that point in time. Oh, it's fine. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. So, I don't know how to tell this story basically, but I needed to figure out how the things I was learning, how they were making sense. Um, I knew I was going to be a web engineer when I changed the background color of an HTML page from the normal white to red. I was like, oh my god, that was so easy, right? So I definitely knew I was signing up for the web. But one thing I really did a lot when I was in school was I wasn't like, oh, I'm a PHP developer, I'm a JavaScript developer. I was like, I'm a software engineer, and if there's anything I need to build, I was ready to learn it, right? While I was in school, I used languages like C Sharp, Visual Basic, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, QBasic at some point, thanks to C++, C Sharp, basically all those things. We had to like go through them, not because you wanted to master them, but basically because they were what you were needing for a particular project at one point or the other. And I think that was actually not such a good idea because I was doing almost the same things but in different languages. So when you're in school and there's no path to there's no path that you can chart. There's no predefined path, right? It becomes very tough for you to choose where or what you want to do, projects you want to build. So I would say if I would go back to change that stuff, to be me specializing early, just because I would be able to understand, okay, this is how this thing works before I would go into something else. So, for example, I was building, say, sign up pages on the web, and when I go to another language, I was doing the same thing. So I wasn't learning anything problem solving wise. I was just learning how to do the same thing in multiple languages, and that was not necessarily, growing. So just basically mean being familiar with these multiple syntaxes, right? So if there's any recommendation I'll give for anyone that's learning how to code while in school, it's easy to get carried away with, all the flashy new tech, when you're learning Vue, you're learning React, you're learning Angular all at the same time. And all you're building with these things are, landing pages, right? So even though you're able to use three different languages, three different frameworks to build a landing page, at the end of the day, what you can build is still just a landing page, even if it's three languages. So I would recommend instead of you just trying to learn all of these things and having just basic knowledge of them at that early stage, is basically specializing on one tool, for example, because I will not lie to you, if you know JavaScript and you're able to build a landing page in Vue, you're able to build a guest book, a forum and stuff like that in Vue. If you have to build it in React, you would already have the experience, the knowledge to say, oh, this is how a forum works. This is how I need to structure my database, right? And doing that, even if you have to do it in React, it's way easier for you. All you have to do at this point is learn how to build or what syntax you need on React. But you have the experience of saying, I know how to build a forum on the web. So definitely that's like my first advice for today. If you are just learning how to code in school, try as much as possible not to like be jack of all trades yet. Just try and build a solid foundation in one tool or the other one so that you can, focus more on the problems you can solve and not necessarily how many syntaxes you can write, right? I hope that makes sense. I'm definitely open to taking questions from chat. Um, oh yeah, I did that too. Yeah, I know that was you. See, not this son. Thank you for stopping by as well. Thank you, Shegun, once again. Is there anyone in chat that is, currently a student? I would definitely love to just tell me what school you are from, what you're learning, um, how many years you've been coding, what your favorite project has been, and you can also share links. We can, check out some of the sites you guys are building here as well. I think that would be fun. Um, so after learning how to code and just basically starting out with the simple things, I wanted to have an experience of, this is how you build solutions for customers, for clients. This is how you acquire clients. And luckily for me, I was able to speak with some of people that were, say, into trying to find, cheap ways to build websites. And I actually built a terrible one. At some point, I met a particular guy that wanted to build all these award sites. When you're in school, right, a lot of people just come and do departmental awards, faculty awards, local awards. So he didn't want to pay so much money. He paid me like 8,000 naira or so to build him a voting website for his entire platform. And that was one of the that was one of the shittiest codes I've ever written in my life. But it worked. And he used it, he made his money. But technically that was like terrible code. But anytime you go to the website, it definitely opens, definitely works. And that's like solid real life experience for me because I was no longer a developer that was just following tutorials. I had thrown myself out into the world to say, okay, a human being somewhere, right, needs my skill set to be able to achieve something. and then I used set skill sets, even though it was not optimized, like it wasn't like from a senior developer or anything like that. I was able to provide a solution to his needs, and it totally worked out. Even though I learned later on that the approaches I took were, not up to par, but that was like a learning process for me. So definitely um, anyone that's also having the opportunity should definitely try that out. We have Adi Dotun from University of Benin, computer science, currently learning JavaScript. Is there any website you built recently, Dotun? You can definitely check it out together here. We like to specialize in backend Node.js, but learning front-end technology right now. I mean, you've been able to decide that where you want to specialize is in the backend. And to be honest, I think if you're able to understand how the front end connects to the backend, how the tools that you use, how front-end developers are going to consume your endpoints when you're a backend developer. If you're able to understand that process, it makes you a better backend developer, right? Because for me, one of the benefits I see myself based on my journey is the fact that I can talk to a backend engineer, I can talk to a front-end engineer, I can talk to someone that is full stack. I've been able to gather these experiences from all the jobs I've had, all the projects I've gotten to build. And so if I'm building out a new project right now, I can literally talk to, if I'm the backend engineer in the project, I can literally talk to the front-end engineer, that, oh, this is what I'm trying to do, and this is how I'm expecting that you're going to consume this API. And if they have feedback for me, we're able to dialogue properly because we both understand how it goes, right? So definitely, if you know you are intending to specialize in backend, and you're currently learning front end, I think it's a good idea. Just know when to start, working on what you want to specialize in and learning all the different aspects that you need. It's definitely a process. Emanuela, welcome. Emanuela Yogun. I'm a 300 level law student of University of Benin. Oh, we have a lot of University of Benin people here. Welcome, guys. I'm currently learning mobile development. I have not learned any code. I will do. If you don't mind, Emanuela, right? Sorry. Um, if you are learning mobile development but you have not learned any code, what are you currently learning? I would like to have like an insight on that so I can share some of my experiences there. While I was in my second year, I wanted to apply for this MTN competition. It was like some mobile competition back in the days. And I was reading this book about mobile development in Java, and there's Android development in Java. And I followed this book to the core. I was writing code every line, just taking it one step after each other or after another. And at the end of the chapter, they gave me some exercises to do from this mobile development book, and I couldn't do it. Because all I was doing was just following the text, just reading it as if it was a storybook and just trying to follow along. I wasn't exactly learning, even though I was reading the tutorial. So please do not get sucked into, like tutorial black hole. You actually need to start building and start writing this code so that you are able to understand um, how they connect, how they apply together. And then you can say you're a mobile developer as well. Hello, Ma. You're currently studying BSc Computer Science at National Open University of Nigeria. I think, is that a remote school? I don't know. Is situated somewhere? And you started coding in 2019. That's awesome. How's the experience been? For me, coding has been an avenue for me to be able to like bring life to my ideas. Basically, um, if I have an idea of, oh, I want to build this app, I want an app that can manage my budget. I know I have the power to build it to my taste, and that's one of the things I really enjoyed about coding. So I'm glad you started coding. I think it's going to 2 years now for you. That must have been the experience, quite the experience, rather. Hi, Stanley. Welcome to the stream as well. You're also from UniBen. Oh my God, you guys are so much from Uni. You'd like to know my experience in getting a foreign job as a student dev. So I personally did not get a foreign job as a student developer, to be honest. But from experiences that I've had, if you're just learning how to code, basically, I would definitely recommend being part of a group of people that are like physical location, because that's the best way that you can get mentorship and learn hands-on from people that are also building things that you're working on. If you're like getting a job as a student, if you're getting a foreign job as a student developer, clearly indicates that you're working remotely, and you have to also balance it out with the schedule of the school, meaning you might not be able to work on set projects till say in the evening, right? Um, I know a lot of people. I also had the opportunity actually to work remotely from school, but I did not take it. So I don't think there's a major difference between if it's a foreign job or if it's local. The only difference is that if it's a foreign job, the time zone is going to apply, meaning they might just be starting out their day while you are wrapping up with school work. But if it's a local company, they're wrapping up the day as you're also wrapping up your day in school, and then you have to work late evenings and then try to catch up. So if it's focused on just getting a foreign job as a student dev, I think best way will probably to go online and find but most likely junior developer opportunities that are remote. I don't think there are many because a lot of people like to hire on-site junior developers. So it might be tougher to get a foreign job as a student dev in that regard because you are most likely a junior dev, right? You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I would say the approach is still how anybody who wants to get a foreign job. You can try remote OK.io, I think. You can try Stack Overflow jobs. You can try LinkedIn as well. But I would say it should, just indicate what your availability is, so they set their expectations correctly. Oh, nice. Mark, can you share a link to any of your projects? I'll definitely love to check it out. So basically, as I was saying, I went from learning how to code to trying to apply myself out there with people that needed my services. So I have like this client base, and even though I was able to work with some people, I basically noticed things I could not do. For example, while I was working on the voting platform for these clients, I created 82 tables in my SQL, which is like completely ridiculous. And it's definitely not recommended if you are working on that kind of project. It was a bad way to implement it, but it worked. From there, I knew that I needed to figure out how to, use the databases properly. Even though I had a database management course in school, it wasn't as hands-on. But then I started doing Google searches on how to better implement database structures, online. And there used to be some really good sites that focused on implementations. To be honest, let me see if I can find one. How to design say database for a firm. Yeah. So there used to be websites like they will tell you how you can structure. This is just Stack Overflow answer, right? But some websites were dedicated specifically to just telling you how you can design and implement stuff, like this one, I think. And I started reading a lot of them because they gave me like a background understanding to how I can build solutions that I couldn't have imagined by myself, right? Because I didn't understand how they really worked. Hello, Enoch. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here today. So yeah, I can definitely check out tools like this. Um, so far so good. I think next thing for me as a student developer then also was while I already started working, I was already learning how to code and I was already getting involved with, clients, learning how to build solutions. I really need to still continue to improve my experience, right? So because I was learning how to code, there were a lot of people that were in final year computer science students that were not really excited about code. So they would definitely look for people that they want to that is available to help you that final year project. So I was able to make money off of that, small money to be honest, 3K, 5K, 10K at the time. But this was a chance where I was able to take on different types of projects, from consuming APIs that were doing virtual learning solutions as final year projects, to building out an entire forum, to building out like a um, Hmm. There's this thing, an inventory management system that was usually very common among final students in my school. So we're building laboratory management systems, library management systems, um, you know, inventory basically, just people that could. You have to start thinking about how you store data, right? So PHP was what I was using a lot at that time. PHP, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and then MySQL for database. So being able to work as a student while in school, doing all the final year projects kind of gave me a lot of experience from like real life solutions eventually, and also making some money on the side. So as a student, I was making money while also improving my experience. Um, how did you juggle learning with school? This was a really tough one because for me, I also wanted to do well at school. I felt it was important as well. So I wasn't just all, oh, I'm always coding. I'm not going to go to class, right? But one thing I realized was I didn't really have much of a social life when I was in school. I was like a complete nerd. I think you have to sacrifice one thing for the other, um, depending on what your priority is, to be honest. So for me at the time, how I used to structure my time was I would go to class in the morning. Um, try as much as possible to pay attention in class. Of course, I'm always faffing most of the time, faffing in class and just learn what they are teaching. But then when I go back to the hostel after school, sometimes I don't even go back, to be honest. I stay in class and then I kind of switch over to, learning how to code or working on a side project or, doing stuff basically. Sometimes I still till very late in class or sometimes I stay the entire night in class and then go back to my hostel early the next morning. So for me, I think that's probably a little bit extreme at this point in time. You don't necessarily have to spend all of your time, juggling between you're in class, you learn, and you're tired, and then you totally move over to coding, right? It might be crazy, but it's what I did. Um, but one way to actually, learn properly for me was learning through building. So I didn't just take courses. I wasn't taking so many courses. I was just like, um, I wanted to build a solution, and I'm like, how can I build a solution? So anything I needed to learn along that path was what I was learning. Um, my 4 years in school, I think I was learning how to school for like 3 years, and in that period of time, I was able to build um, an hospital management system where um, you could, you could book a doctor, speak to a doctor, find hospitals that are around you, speak to a doctor about support. Um, I was using like Google Map API. I was using different APIs, and for me, it was not like I was using about them before. I wasn't learning about them before. The point was just coming up with crazy ideas. That, "Oh, this is what I want to be able to build, and then as I'm building them, I'm learning, and that was the way I was able to like facilitate and improve the speed of learning for myself when I was in school because I was not just learning. Oh, this is how to print a text or show a text on screen. I was learning how to actually build these solutions that translated to real world experiences. Your hair is lit. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely share. You can definitely share projects that you're working on as well. I'll definitely love to give it a look. But like I was saying, you learning in school is just balancing the time you spend in class because you don't want to also just feel completely in class. You want to be able to do well in school while you're also continuing to grow as a software engineer. Um, I think the next thing for me would be I would say opportunities. Um, 1 second. Oh, nice. You did a Blackjack project. That's very interesting. What did you learn from Blackjack project? Because I feel like when you're building a Blackjack project, you get to learn how to, how the game itself works, how you should store data, how you're managing, say, if it's a multiplayer game, for example, stuff like that. Resume builder, you get to learn how to, either export to PDF or connect and store data. Like those are things I feel like eventually apply to um, real life experiences, right? So I'm glad you guys are definitely building stuff. That's a great way to go. Not just building tutorial applications, because if you follow tutorials and they show you, hello world programs, that's basically the end of it. But how do you make more sense of it? How do you learn higher level stuff from it? So I'm definitely glad I'm seeing that. Um, I don't know if times have changed, but for me, when I was in school, the opportunities that were really common were ambassador programs, developer communities, scholarships, student developer packs. I think I did a video recently about that, student developer packs. Also, mm, just student discounts generally. You could go to When I was in school, I had the opportunity to go to a Ministry of Education conference with some ministers that were just trying to change the structure of education in Nigeria. Basically, they were trying to say, oh, 50% for projects, 50% for exams. At that time, it was crazy. So being able to participate and take advantage of these opportunities would make you have new experiences that you most likely not have access to if you're just staying in class and you're just acting like a normal developer that's freelancing. So these experiences are usually not just local. A lot of them are very international. So Microsoft is one great source of that. Google also, you can check out the Google developer communities. I think Mozilla at some point used to do that as well. Companies like DigitalOcean, GitHub, um, I'm trying to think of some other ones. Maybe, let's see, PHP Storm, maybe. A lot of them would definitely have student developer programs, but some of them provide competitions that you can apply to as a student. And if you have an amazing project idea or you have an amazing solution, you can always submit this project. While I was in school, I created a project, and I was among a team of 4 people. We were able to build solutions that were applied for Microsoft Imagine Cup. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. I was able to see what other people were building while I was a student because I was able to go beyond, my own local space, my like I say, local champion or whatever the case is. And the first project, I was just like a contributor, I made very little contributions to the project. But the second and third time, I was actually leading the project. We applied for a matching cup, and it was an amazing experience, right? We got sponsored to travel to another state where um, we demoed our project, did presentations, showed how the application worked. And because you're applying and you're participating in Microsoft Imagine Cup, for example, we had free Azure credit, that's cloud storage. We had free dollars to host projects, free hosting, free premium accounts. And as a student that you would not normally be able to afford these things, there's no better opportunity than taking advantage of these ones, right? So Microsoft, GitHub, Google, they provide majorly these competitions. I think Google Summer of Code is definitely something that somebody can look at. Um, Microsoft Magical, Microsoft Student Partner, Google Student Ambassador, Facebook, I think as well. Facebook developer communities. I'm not totally sure. But if you are part of these communities, you're able to find these opportunities, these resources that you can basically take advantage of. I don't know if there's anyone in chat that is currently taking advantage of something that you like to share with the audience, like, oh, maybe you know, following some Microsoft competition or some scholarship. I don't know if anyone else would like to share it. I think there are a lot of people from UniBen here. What kind of opportunities are you guys taking advantage of at UniBen? Anyone? Oh yeah, let me show you guys. Well, there are no opportunities in UniBen. Wow. Okay. Like I said, you don't necessarily um, have to wait for local opportunities. You can apply to Imagine Cup from whichever school you're at, right? UniBen, Unilag, Unilearning, anywhere you can apply and take advantage of these global opportunities. Um, this is why I compete. The Imagine Cup is more than just a technology competition. It has been on for 19 years. A lot of students are taking advantage of this. More than 2 million student competitors have signed up to build something that matters. And they basically give you resources, mentorship from experts, networking, showcasing your idea, and even cash to take your project to the next level, right? So, like you said, there are no opportunities in UniBen. So my recommendation right now is for anyone that is watching right now, right, to not just limit your search for opportunities to around you. It's not just about local companies. It's not about local opportunities. Just go online for like. I think there are a lot of people that are also that you can DM and just ask them about stuff. Imagine Cup, for example, has been on for 19 years and 100 plus countries. It's definitely available in Nigeria. You have amazing ideas, right? I'm sure people do have amazing ideas. This kind of competition presents you an opportunity to go beyond just being Nigerian and having that chance to showcase your idea and project to the entire world. So you don't have to look at local opportunities in Manila. Just search online, Google, Microsoft. I think there are a few others like maybe um, you see the Google Student Ambassador Program. Yeah, it's probably still on, right? So you can plan and host events on campus. You can get access to to resources and everything. While I was a Microsoft student partner, there used to be this. I don't know if I still have the account. There used to be this MSDN account where um, I could go there and I would have license keys for any Windows laptop, right? For any Windows operating system. So if I'm buying a new laptop or one of my friends bought a new laptop and their keys expired or it was cracked at that point in time, I had access to I think about 10 keys for each project for each product for each Microsoft product. So I could basically use Microsoft products for free, like any one of them, Office 365, um, PowerPoint, Access, all of those, right? They're basically free for me. So these are definitely opportunities to definitely check out, guys. Oh yeah, so Emanuela, someone in chat also from Miniben just said there are a lot of opportunities that most people do not know. You can reach out to him as also working on building the communities in Uniben. So I think you guys should connect. See, that's it. I'm excited about that. You guys should definitely connect and see how that works out fine. But like, don't limit your opportunities to just your local area, guys. It's that's so 2000. This is 2021. The world has gone remote as well. You can definitely find opportunities like anywhere, anywhere. There's the GitHub rather, um, developer pack. 17. Okay. Right, there's a Google GitHub developer pack where you get access to tools for free, like $100 a year, free 12-month subscription, 1 year certificate, 1 year domain name. Like, come on, you have access to 25 plus Microsoft. When I was in school, there was something called Microsoft Bespark. I don't know if it still exists. With Microsoft Bespark, I was getting $150 every month for free for about 4 years to spend on hosting, right? So I could host my applications, any number of applications for free on Azure for like 4 years. That's what Microsoft uh, Bespark was doing for Microsoft for startups, and you're able to like just have resources like, oh, you have an idea, I want to build it globally. Opportunities like this would definitely help you take advantage of said opportunities. Yeah, you spoke to me about the communities, Dotun. I'm glad it's still working out fine. I think I was talking about stuff, um, gaining experiences. I think that's the next thing I'll talk about. For me, one of the ways I was able to gain experience, aside from working on final projects for people, reaching out to clients, was actually being part of a community like Dev Center. Dev Center used to be used to be that place I used to spend like every other day. It was a place where I was seeing other developers, seeing what they were building. I don't know if it's still active. I've not been here in a long time. It's a place where I could get support, just like this person. Um, Person having a Node.js problem, right? It's basically like a community of developers. They're from like anywhere, not just Benin, Lagos or Abuja. They're like from everywhere. And regardless of what you're working on, you could always have access to people that you can connect with, speak with. And a few years ago, while I was part of this community, I think we wanted to build a solution. See if I can find it. Dev Center Social, yes. So we're about maybe 500, 600 people in the community at that time. And we wanted to start following each other on GitHub. Like, how can I see what you are building? How can you see what I'm building? How do I know that you're a front-end engineer or you're a software engineer or you're a back-end engineer? So people were just talking about it, and we're like, you know what? I was going to build a small app back then using Google Sheet and GitHub API, and these were members of the community at that time. Where let me squeeze this. Right. So these were members of the community at that time, and everyone basically shared their links and they were following each other, and they were able to like make connections, right? Network with other people that could provide resources, that provide opportunities and collaborations for you as well. It was a really great experience, and if you have access to it, I would definitely recommend being part of the community. Um, you can, ask on Twitter, ask people that you're also not already involved in the tech community about what other communities you can get involved in and the kind of resources that are available for you as a student developer, right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna start wrapping up now. I don't know if anyone has, any more questions I can answer before I go. So let me just make it like ask me your questions, and then I'll wrap up in a few minutes. If there's something you're struggling with as a student developer, you're in school, and you know, I'm definitely here to answer for the next few minutes. So let's go. I mean, this community has existed for a long time. I think I joined this community maybe 2015, and people are still finding a use of it. Um, so yeah, Dotun Manuela is asking how to reach you so that you guys can talk about the opportunities that are available in Univen. I did Dotun, yes. All right, everyone. I'm guessing there are no more questions. I'm glad I did this. I hope one or two people at least were able to get a few things out of the stream. I might be able to structure it better next time. And so this was just on impulse. So maybe next time I'll have some more interesting things to talk about, better structured as well. Um, but yeah, I'm glad everyone was able to stop by. I hope this was fun for you as well. I hope you learned one of the things, and I hope you find this useful. So enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Um, bye.